Okay, let's investigate this limit from the textbook. First, let's begin by looking at the individual terms. As x and y each approach 0, 5y to the fourth approaches 0. X goes to 0, so cosine 0 is 1. That's a continuous function. X to the fourth goes to 0, and y to the fourth goes to 0. So altogether, our numerator is going to 0, and our denominator is going to 0. That's why we have to look closer with this indeterminate form. Now just cover up x terms, cover them up mentally. All right, I could do that like this. I'll just make a copy of this guy and paste it down here. So I'm going to cross out the x terms. This is like setting, just ignore them for a minute, all right? So I'm going to just take that guy out and that guy out. All right, so if I could somehow eliminate those, I'd have 5y to the fourth over y to the fourth, and the y to the fourth would then cancel, and we would get 5y to the fourth over y to the fourth is equal to 5, so the limit as y goes to 0 would be 5. Right. Similarly, cover up the y to the fourth terms. Right. So now you have, just cover them up with your fingers if you want, or mentally. You have cosine squared x over x to the fourth, which is of the form, well, 1 over 0, so something's going on here. Let's investigate what happens as we approach the origin along the two x and y axes. Okay, so first let's go along the x-axis. Right. Along the x-axis, we know we have y equals 0 everywhere. We can plug that right into our limit. So now as x approaches 0, y is fixed at the number 0, so it's not changing. We have 5 times 0 to the fourth cosine squared of x over x to the fourth plus 0 to the fourth. So this is the limit as x approaches 0 of 0 on top, x to the fourth on the bottom. X is not equal to 0, so the bottom here is some positive number, so we have 0 over a small positive number, and that's just 0. So the limit along that particular path is 0. However, along the y-axis, if we have x equals 0, remember what we did above, we covered up the x's. We have the limit as y approaches 0, 5y to the fourth cosine squared of 0, x is equal to 0 here, 0 to the fourth plus y to the fourth. Cosine squared of 0 is 1, 0 to the fourth is of course 0, so the limit as y approaches 0 of 5y to the fourth over y to the fourth. Y is of course not 0, so we can cancel these terms, and the remaining limit is 5. So that's it, right? The two limits along different paths are different, so the overall limit does not exist.